First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Bashem, Rakak. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Kwat Sabad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled, A Black Swan Event Will Usher in Jacob's Trouble. And on the screen, we have a definition of Black Swan or Black Swan Event. And it reads, an unpredictable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences. Now, there have been other examples of Black Swan events. And like I said, it's an unpredictable event to most of the people, all right? But you have the elites of the Edomites who plan these things. They know what's going on. So we have some examples of that. The 2008 global crisis, the C-19 pandemic period with the jungle juice, and of course, September 11th. You probably could also include Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese attacked the United States Navy. So there are other events as well, but they are unpredictable events that the general public doesn't know about, all right? So it's something that's going to pop off at any time. But the elites of the Edomites, the bankers, the ones that control society in general, that run the governments, they know exactly what's going on. So we have some examples of what may be a Black Swan event that will kick in Jacob's trouble. There may be a cyber attack, okay, which will take out the computer systems, and that will cause utter chaos because you know how people are so dependent on their internet and their phones. You may have an EMP attack that was in that movie, Leave the World Behind. Electromagnetic pulse attack, where you may have blackouts. The electricity may be down. That may affect the water, okay, coming to people's houses because a lot of water is run on electricity. So that will cause disease, pestilence. It could also knock out logistics for the trucks and food to come in to the cities. So that would cause famine and chaos. And then that would start where people would start rioting and looting. Okay. So these are things that could happen. And then, once you have that rioting and looting, you could have martial law. You see, you could have people on the streets with guns, robbing and stealing, all types of chaos. You could also have a terrorist attack. You could have a financial collapse, Wall Street, bank runs, etc. Any number of things. The thing is, it's going to be an unpredictable event. Okay, that's going to come out of nowhere. It's not going to be predictable. But those of us who are part of the 130 elect, we've been watching and being circumspect, and we understand that Esau has to plan these things. So he has to create a problem, and then you're going to have a reaction, and then a solution. So the Black Swan event will be the problem they create, and then you're going to have a reaction. The race riots, the famine of food, Esau with the militias on the streets, people getting killed, all types of things are going to be happening, and then people are going to be begging for a solution. And you see, the elites of the Edomites already have the solution figured out. That's going to be the MOTB, spoken of in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. So you have problem, reaction, solution, orchestrated chaos. So let's go to Revelation 12 and 12 to see why the elites of the Edomites have to get their plan in order. Revelation 12 and 12, and it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, which means adversary, and Esau is our adversary, the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called white man. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So time is running out on these devils. They know Yahweh Shai is near. They see the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots in the skies by the thousands. So he has to get his plan in order. But in reality, the plan is really the plan of Yahweh, the Most High. We know Proverbs 20 and 24, man's comings and goings are of the Lord. How can he then understand his way? So this is all being planned by Yahweh. He's the great director. We're all just playing parts in his big movie production, you see? So let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 17, because like I said, the Black Swan Event has to bring in Jacob's trouble. They have to orchestrate or cause synchronized chaos. Now, we don't know what they're going to do, but, you know, I put out a couple of examples of what they may do. So we know something's coming. Something big is coming, because you have to have something big to be able to bring about that CHIP. So let's continue. Let's 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 17. This is, of course, the prophet Ezra speaking. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? So he's seen the vision of what's to come in this time. Thousands of years ago, Ezra did. The vision was shown to him by Yahweh. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So he's seen the visions that are going to be coming upon us soon and very soon. And like I said, the 1/3 hopeful elect of the Hebrew Israelites, we're watching and being circumspect. You see, we're paying attention. We're staying clear-minded. We're praying, reading scriptures. And we are hastening the coming of Jacob's trouble, because we know then the MOTB is going to come, and then World War III, and then Yahushua will be on his way with deliverance for the 1/3 hopeful elect and destruction for Babylon, America. Let me start again. 2nd Esdras 16, verse 17 again. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Going to be a lot of death, okay? The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, judgment, because in reality, Jacob's trouble is really set for the 2/3 of our people, the Hebrew Israelites, who haven't hearkened to this word and repented and come back to the Lord. So a lot of the death is going to come and hit 2/3 of our people, the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. You see? So let's continue. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So the 2/3 of our people are not being mindful. They're not watching. They're not being circumspect. They haven't returned back to the Lord to get that hedge of protection. The 1/3 hopeful elect, you see, we've been praying, reading scriptures, keeping our faith up, doing our best to rehearse the righteous acts, keeping our minds ready for what's going to come. So let's read verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So a lot of death is coming. Like I said, when you take food out the equation, people can't go to the store and get food. They can't go to these fast food restaurants. You're going to have pure chaos. And those that escape the hunger or the famine, the sword's going to destroy them. And we know that Esau was given the blessing of the sword, weaponry. Okay, he's a master of weapons. That was his blessing that he received from Isaac. So Esau's going to be going around in the inner cities causing chaos, just killing Jake, shooting Hebrew Israelites, okay? Down like nothing. So let's continue. Let's read verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So Jacob's trouble is going to be a lot of chaos going on. The dead shall be cast out as dung. You also have to be mindful of the C-19 period, where people took the jungle juice. A lot of people are going to be passing out from that. A lot of people are dying from that right now. The government is just trying to hide it, you see. Let's read this again. 2nd Esdras 16, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. So it's going to be a lot of death and destruction. And so, like I said, out of this chaos, Esau is going to come up with a solution that he already has prepared. And that's the CHIP. So he can gain total control of your body and your soul with that CHIP. You know, and if you don't get it, you won't be able to buy or sell. But the elect are not going to take that because we know that it's certain death. But 2/3 of our people are going to get tricked into it, thinking it's going to be miraculous. You know, people with MS or Parkinson's will be able to function better. You see, you'll be able to, have your medical records on there. They'll probably load some money up there, a universal basic income for you, some money. You see, so two-thirds of our people are going to get excited about that. Just like during the C-19 pandemic period, many of our people fell for the celebrities doing commercials saying, protect your community, okay? Take the jabby jab, so on and so forth, okay? Because our people are, like it says in Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22, roughly paraphrasing, he says, my people are sottish children, which means stupid children, you see? So and they believe, most of our people believe anything that this fucking devil Esau says. So let's continue. Let's see what else we have. Let's go to, let's read verse 26. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So a lot of the population is going to be dead during this time. And like I said, when the smoke clears, Esau is going to say, well, you know what? We have the solution, the CHIP. If you want to move forward, in this new world that we're creating, you have to get the CHIP. So let's go to verse 43 real quick here. And it reads, he that soweth as if he shall not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard, so as he that shall not gather the grapes. So, you may have things that were planted, crops, but nobody's going to be able to gather the crops because the population loss is going to be very great, particularly here in Babylon, America. Let's read verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their house and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. So a lot of, like I said, Esau's going to be going wild with the militias in the inner cities, taking many of our people captive. Many of our people, 2/3 of our people, are going to be taken captive by Esau. You see, he's going to be roving around like a madman, like the scripture says, like a madman sparing none. Let's get Jeremiah 30 for another precept. Jeremiah 30 in the Old Testament here. Jeremiah 30, and let's go to verse 5. And it reads, For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So this is talking about Jacob's trouble. Verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. So during this time, it's going to be like men having children. And he says here, ask ye now, okay, do men have children? But they're going to be ashen-faced, pale-faced, in anguish, as if they're having children like women. That's how bad it's going to be. Let's read verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Meaning, the 1/3 hope for elect, the remnant, okay? Most of us are going to be, saved or get the hedge of protection during those times. It ain't saying that we won't go through some things, but we're going to have protection, those of us who have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who can call on the name, okay, who have been watching and being circumspect, who have been rehearsing the righteous acts, who have been doing our best to put off the wickedness of sin. So on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Rakakwadash. I hope his lesson was edifying to you. Shalom.